What's up guys, Garrett from Parts View here, back at it with the basics of boating video series. Today we're gonna go over one that's extremely important to make sure you're safe on the water. This is gonna be rules of the road. We're gonna talk about passage of vessels, who has the right of way, navigational markers, things to look out for and all that, so stay tuned. All right, first and foremost, practicality tells us that it is both captain's job to avoid a collision. However, there is going to be some important guidelines that dictate who has the right of way. There are three scenarios you're most likely to experience where this knowledge is going to come in handy. So the first scenario is meeting head on. When this happens, both vessels should move to the starboard side or to the right and pass each other port to port, or left-hand side to left-hand side of their vessels. This is the same as two cars heading towards each other on the roadway. They both move to their respective right-hand side. In this case, there is no stand-on or give-way vessel. They both have an obligation to take action. So the second scenario will be during passing, or also known as overtaking. In this situation, both vessels are moving in the same direction. The vessel approaching from behind is the give-way vessel until he has passed the other vessel. The vessel being overtaking has an obligation to maintain its course and speed while being passed. The third situation that you're likely to encounter is crossing of two boats. If a boat is approaching you from the starboard or the right-hand side, they are the stand-on vessel and you must give way to them. Now this is going to change a little bit if you are encountering a much larger vessel, such as a barge or a freighter. In those cases, the other vessel will have a much more difficult time stopping or changing course and will therefore have the right of way. This is commonly referred to as the law of gross tonnage. When two vessels are going under a bridge in opposite directions, the vessel that has the current pushing it from behind has the right of way, or is the stand-on vessel. The theory behind this is that the vessel with the current pushing it has less maneuverability. Another very important thing is, of course, navigational markers. Generally, there are two types of markers: lateral markers and non-lateral markers. Lateral markers are directional. They tell us where to go or not to go, and guide us from one point to another. The first lateral marker we are going to talk about are red markers. These are going to be on your right-hand side when returning from sea or going up current. Remember, red right return. They always have an even number associated with them and will be a triangle. The next lateral marker is the green marker. Now these are going to be on your left-hand side when coming in from sea. They will always have an odd number and will be associated with a square. These markers not only tell you if you're heading out to sea or heading into port, they tell you the distance from sea. If the number sequence on the markers is increasing, you are moving away from the sea. And of course, if the number sequence is decreasing, you are moving closer to the sea. Now, non-lateral markers are informational. They inform us about areas such as no wake zones, where you're expected to be fully off plane, not pushing a wake by the time you enter it. Things like manatee zones and hazardous areas. All right, guys, well, that wraps up our rules of the road video. Hopefully that will help keep you safe on the water and enjoy your time out there. As always, make sure you subscribe to Parts View's YouTube channel and be on the lookout for our next video.